Welcome, everybody.
And hello!
Hello!
Right, okay, let me see if these work after singing and all the rest of it that I did the other day. I first met Blake when I was an adolescent and I saw a picture of Nebuchadnezzar. It was on the gatefold sleeve, not unfortunately of a punk band. It was a band called Atomic Rooster. Death walks behind you.
Yeah.
And I saw this picture, and as this strange being was metamorphosing into an animal, I thought, that's me. And later on, the same picture repeated itself when I was crawling down a hotel corridor at the age of 22, having had a #1 album, being one of the most successful bands in the world. I was drunk as a skunk, and I was looking for hotel room service trays that somebody might have left a bread roll out on so I could fill my face. And as I was crawling on my hands and knees, there was a full-length mirror, and I caught sight and I went, there is Nebuchadnezzar again. You better do something about that or you'll end up like him. So that's on a superficial level. But on an artistic level, for me, Blake was more than just a poet. He was an occultist, he was a Rosicrucian. It wasn't just the chemical wedding, it was the alchemical wedding of Christian Rothenkreuz that informed a lot of what Blake knew and a lot of other influences as well. So yes, I did use some Blake words in the album, and I did do a version, in fact, of Jerusalem, not the rather jingoistic version with the parry melody that everybody thinks is all about patriotism and yada yada yada. No, I did a version which was more about the link between Jerusalem and a world beyond the mere material. And I put bells on it and mandolins, and actually rather subversively played it in Canterbury Cathedral with Ian Anderson acoustically. Just didn't let on what it was really about. Two quotes from Blake, one of which I really love, which I think speaks volumes about what our attitudes should be everywhere. I must create my own system or be enslaved by another. Yeah. And every time you look at your Android or your iPhone, just remember that. Yeah. Would Blake be on Facebook? No bloody way would he be on that. So, I will say this to you as well. Blake on reality TV. There were no TVs, but I'm sure there was the equivalent. He was commissioned to go and do, I believe it was some piece. He was broke, like all great artists are. And his agent got him a commission, actually with a man of the cloth, who rather prosaically wanted a Blake version of, I think it was one of the 7 deadly sins. After the first 2 7 deadly sins had arrived, he sent them back, saying, these are obscene! What does this mean? And Blake, in a fantastic rebuttal of everything that is our world today, said, that which is comprehensible to an idiot is not worth my care. At the risk of, unfortunately, repeating, my heart sank when I heard somebody else. They didn't. Actually, it had little wings, but I went, oh no! I've been upstaged. Trembling I sit day and night. My friends are astonished at me, yet they forgive my wanderings. I rest not from my great task, to open the eternal worlds, to open the immortal eyes of man, inwards into the world of thought, into eternity. How happy is the human soul, not enslaved by dull control, left to dream and roam and play and shed the guilt of former days. Walking on the foggy shore, I watch the waves come rolling home, and through the veil of pale moonlight, my shadow stretches out its hand. And so we lay in the same grave, our chemical wedding day. As above, so below, All things come from the one. Now you are the victim, gathered by the wind and rooted in the ground. And if you want to know the secrets, close your eyes. In every woman is a man, and from the moon come silver ghosts, spectres of the blood. And from my spirit comes the darkness, and from the void the crimson fortress rises. He shook his aged mantles off into the fires. Then, glorious, bright, exulting in his joy, he sounding rose into the heavens in naked majesty, in radiant youth. Thanks, William.